Uh, well, we are bringing a transaction coordinator in-house.
Okay.
And she's also going to be working the co-ops to help our agents with their profit share through their co-brokes as she does transactions with them.
Okay, very good. Awesome. And is she also going to, when she is working with them on the transaction, ask them about the agent on the other side of the transaction, get a name for you?
Yeah. That's a strategy. Yes.
That's a strategy.
Very good. I
Yeah,
love it.
that's a
Awesome.
strategy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for being on the call today. And let's start off with, what did you guys think about the growth call today? Give me some ahas from the growth call. Did you like that, Liliana?
Well, I am obsessed with Phil Jones, so yes, I love that.
So time out. I got Phil Jones' phone number from Jason. I already made a phone call to him, and I'm going to
Georgia.
Florida. I'm going to get him to come to Florida to do that 2 days. It's $2,500.
I know, because
So
I was going to New York.
I might go to New York and check it out, depending on when we can get him. But anyway, I've called him directly. He's answered the phone. I'm in conversation with him about coming to Florida. What do you guys think?
Love it. Please do.
That'd be great. Do it.
Awesome. So before anybody asked me, I thought I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of that. So everybody's gonna need to save their bonus money to be able to come, right? Awesome, very good. All right, so tell me, Liliana, you start off. What did you love about that call? Did you hear the 4 quadrants?
Yes.
Positive present, negative future, positive future. Did you hear those?
Yes, I love the 4 quadrants.
About.
I sent you, I was typing the questions real quick because I want to practice those at 3:30 and when we go into role play. So if I sent you what I have typed up so that you can maybe share with people who if they didn't take the notes. I just love the questions that he was asking, but my main thing was really.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
And the pulse.
Yeah, really.
Well, yeah. I always like to say really, or I understand. And just move on to the next one. But the other thing is that in all of these things, what I'm about to go over the Anna Kruger call with you guys, but in all of these things, what I'm hearing is the three deep conversations, just asking more questions. And the other thing I noted is confidence. I'm not sure that sometimes we all feel confident that we can provide what we are consulting to. Does that make sense? So I love Liliana. Liliana, anything else you want to share with me? I know I've been excited about adding some things before I let you talk, but anything else?
Well, for me, it was a very big aha when Cody was saying, how are you dripping on them? How are you touching base with them every now and then? And Jojo and I were taking the call together and I looked at her and I said, I don't have that. So that's going to be in place by the end of the week. That was my big aha and, slap in the face.
Well, what would be one of the things you would drip on them with?
Family reunion, 100%. I already started.
Yeah. And what would be the second thing?
MREA podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Podcast, everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you get one once a week, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. There's your market center training events. Now, Liliana, talk to me a little bit about what you and Ray did with 5 brokers the other day.
Come on, Ray.
What? This is your idea.
I wanted to keep it secret. Oh, just kidding. So we did.
I told you all to do it, and you did it.
So we did Table for 12. This was a system that was shared with me by another team leader back in Mega Camp, and we finally implemented because we wanted to have sponsors for it and all of that good stuff. So I had some of my top producers bring their friends. They had to be a recruit, they had to be a capper, and we wanted to keep the table around the same level of production. So we had agents between 8 and 15, like 10, 15 million in production at the table. And I got 2 of my vendors sponsoring the event or paying for the lunch. the invitation went out without any type of branding to Keller Williams. I thought that was important to just make them feel comfortable that it's not just, you know, a recruiting event, even though obviously it is a recruiting event. And we had an amazing conversation. We had great conversations on the table. They were giving us their holes in without us prompting too much on it. So I have tons of notes on how I'm going to intentionally follow up with those 5 people that were sitting there. I have one coming tomorrow for a one-on-one, and she'll probably end up onboarding. She said to me, I've never been in an environment where someone has created that type of, you know, of mastermind where it was small. So it just gave way for amazing conversations. And yeah, we talked business, but we also joked around and it got very personal, right? And we know everything about everybody now in that space. So we want to keep it at 12. And we're going to be doing this the last Friday of every month. And the reason why I wanted to keep it on the last Friday was to end the month in a high and have the pipeline for the next month for my follow-up, for some intentional follow-ups that I have to now make. It was great.
Question. I love the idea. I don't care. Do you think the last Friday of the month, is that close to when they would have closings, so they might not be able to come?
That could happen any day.
Pardon me?
That could happen any day in my mind, you know, for them. For me, all honestly, and I'm being super selfish around the last Friday of the month, it's mainly for me. Because I want to end the month on a high. I want my mindset to be, bless you, to be good at the end of the month, so that when we start the month, we're starting with no energy.
Okay. Do you have, what were the questions that you prepared or topics?
Yeah, so I asked 2 questions. It was literally, how are you winning in this market? And that was our first combo. And then I asked, what are the struggles? And that was the big combo, because no one wants to talk about their wins as much as they want to talk about what they're struggling with. So a lot of hot topics for all of you. This is what they wanted to hear. AI, which we're doing free AI consultations for them. Reviews, the Google reviews and any type of reviews was a big system to share with them, which of course I then emailed them Nick Walden 1-pager from last week. The other thing was listings that were sitting on the market. So it was tactic 7 of the shift for a good 30 minutes, which was amazing. And I'm very versed on tactic 7, so that's my comfort zone. So it gave us a chance to just have good conversation and give them some strategies, and we masterminded around what to say to a seller. It turned into a little bit of a script and role play at the table. Yeah, when it went on overpriced listings. Those were the main struggles that they were sharing.
And Ray was with you?
Yep, he was with us for the first hour, which was great because, you know, we brought the big guns.
Ray, did you talk at all about, you know, the market or the things that you know, how long was your session, Liliana?
An hour and a half.
Okay. So was it just at a regular restaurant? Okay.
Yes.
So did you have like a private booth or a private like little table
or
something?
So we did it at 11, which is exactly when that restaurant opened. So there weren't a lot of people in the restaurant, but then this month we're gonna do it at a different place where we can close doors and have a special space, because at the end it was noisy.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So Ray, did you do anything about I'm gonna say market of the moment, or anything about what you see to open it up or anything like that?
We did talk a little bit about that, but mostly we just dived into exactly what they had issues with, which was great because, you know, Liliana and I have been around for a while. So there were some agents there that knew me. So they asked me a lot of questions, which was good, I guess, right? So it made me look like the expert, because some of the folks had no idea who I was, which is fine. I mean, I'm good with that. But, you know, one of the things that Liliana did a really good job was she made sure that everybody there that was a guest actually participated. So it wasn't like 1 or 2 people, because I hate to say it, but a couple of our Keller agents are fantastic, right? I mean, they were answering questions, but we really wanted to hear from our guest, right? Because it's for the guest. And Liliana did a great job of facilitating and making sure it moved along. of course, I spoke my share, but I wanted to make sure that I was being very aware that it's not about Keller. This was a very brand agnostic mastermind, and we do talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what, Georgia? Like after the lunch was done and I was talking to Leila, giving her the deets, it dawned on me that most of the people on that table were ex-Keller Williams agents.
Oh, really?
They were lost agents.
Uh,
I was like, oh, like it wasn't designed like that, but it just happened that way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so you had about 5 guests, I believe, right?
Yes.
That's good. So you had about 12 people, but 5 of them were guests.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Awesome, awesome. So, and I like the fact that are you gonna make it like 5 or 6 of your people and 5 or 6 guests rather than just all guests?
Yes. The amount of FOMO that was created in the market center when I posted the picture was intense. I've been
Mhm.
getting texts all weekend. When do I get to go to the next one? I wasn't invited to this. And then
Well, this
so
is the
I'm
key, though.
leveraging them,
This is the key, and this is the way Liliana set it up. You can't go unless you bring a friend.
Yeah.
So it's not just a free lunch for people like it usually is.
Right.
Mhm.
It's
Correct.
nice. And she's going to have it for different levels of production too. So
Mhm.
again, this is Liliana's thing. It was
Our thing,
fantastic.
Our thing.
What a great beta test.
Well,
We
yeah,
failed forward very fast.
yeah, I mean, it's something that we heard about probably about a year or so ago, Liliana. So I'm really, really glad that that you finally brought it to the table. So, we talk about these things all the time and then nothing ever happens about it. So I'm glad that you did it. Is anybody else doing anything similar to this? So, these are the things that we're going to be looking at really, really closely moving forward is what are the, this is one of the levels of lead generation, right? In other words, that's a strategy, right, Liliana, that you would have on your GPS and that you're going to
Mhm.
follow it every month. Yeah, very good.
Georgia, we're actually going to be doing that. One, I love that Liliana mentioned all those things. That's fantastic. I took a lot of notes from there. But we were actually talking about doing a mastermind as well. We're probably just going to send out postcards. It's going to be how we're going to start it, and probably do it bi-monthly. But I definitely, when we meet at 3:30, I'm going to pick Liliana's brain more about that. She's such an expert. I always love the opportunity to be able to pick her brain more and more. So this is awesome. Thank you, Liliana.
So a couple of you asked questions about the Phil Jones event. I am talking to Phil Jones about having that event come to Florida. It's $2,500, just so you know, for one person to attend. I might be going to the one in March. I haven't decided yet. It just depends on when I'm gonna get him to come here. So yes, so for those of you that wanted to know about Phil Jones, and I'll see if he's got a different one where he just comes and speaks, but I think having a 2-day event for him, I think would be awesome. Okay. Beth said, Sean did something, we did this a couple months ago and agree, great to do. I think it's the consistency, also, of having it, like you said, Liliana, the consistency of doing that. We used to do something where we talked about a mastermind. Sean Rawls did those years ago, a mastermind like once a month, buy the lunch, the mastermind is free, or pay for the mastermind, the lunch is free. And he would have it at a country club or something, and he'd have, I don't know, I mean, they'd have a whole bunch of people come to those. So you can do it small or big, but I think that it's the consistency of doing something. I would have it outside of your market center. I think it's less, recruiting-ish if you do. And bringing in panels of people, from couple people from Keller Williams and then 2 or 3 people from outside. And, usually you can see our people usually shine, versus others. And, here's the thing, and some of you haven't been with Keller Williams for a long time. Some of you, are, newer to real estate or haven't been in real estate. What you don't understand is that I think we've been with our company for so long, or we've been around for so long, that you all take for granted that what we do is happening other places. And Jason mentioned it on the call. It's like, they don't have particularly these indies, they don't have anybody that they can mastermind with because it's just them running their company. And so a lot of the things that you see that we have, are unique, even to EXP, even to LPT, even to these other companies. Some of the training and different tools that we have are unique to us. So good job, Liliana. What else did you guys get out of the call with Jason and Cody and Phil Jones today?
The digital package.
Yeah, talk about that, Donna.
I just thought it was great. We've always been, tried to get something that we can use for our own and that it's, made for us, because a lot of us, like me, I don't really have an assistant to help me with that. So it takes me forever to do that kind of stuff, even though I get some help from my MCA. So that I was looking forward to, and I like the little postcard that John showed. So I thought that was really great. To any kind of leverage we can get from KWRI is appreciated.
Well, they can't provide a lot of those things, but we can. So when you need something like that postcard, Donna, or something that you guys think you need that we can provide to everyone that you think would be, I'm going to say, generic enough for anybody to use, even if it gets customized, we can do that. So if there's things that you guys want, let us know, because between Angela and Angie, Abby and Angela, we can create those marketing pieces for you. I'm about ready to show you the stuff for the family reunion that we do. And when we have an event, we do those flyers for you. Now, obviously, we're not going to do your market center events. That would need to be something that you guys need. But if you need to have something like for the posts that need to go out for the events, for the I'm trying to think, for the MREA podcast, let us know what you need. So I don't have 38 of you taking 38 hours to try to create something that we may be able to get from somebody else, or that we can do in 1 hour and provide it to all of you. Does that make sense? But I don't know that you need something unless you reach out to us and say, hey, is there anything that you can help us with? Okay. Because they were so talking about indies today, I want to talk a little bit about an indie, because I think there's a lot of confusion about an indie/MAO, because they say indie/MAO. I want to make sure that everybody understands, unless it's like a Watson Real Estate or something where, like, even Watson is an indie, but they have like multiple locations. So that might be a little bit bigger one. But an indie is nothing more than a mega team. It's just nothing more than a mega team that would be moving to our company. Okay. I think sometimes we get confused that, oh, they need to stay in indie. They need to stay the same brokerage. We're talking about bringing a brokerage and how do we have a brokerage within our brokerage? And I think there's a lot of confusion about that. And an indie is nothing more than talking to the leader of that particular company and just starting off with the conversation, just like Cody Gibson was showing, okay, and asking questions, just like John Clyde was talking about. It's no different than if you're calling a $50 or $60 million producer. In fact, we have a couple of you that are in conversations with some pretty big agents right now that are doing 50, 60, 100 million. Okay. Now they're with another company, but they would be no different than an indie. They're possibly are bringing their team over to us, but that's no different than somebody that is the broker of their own company. Does that make sense, everybody? So let's not get any mindset or fearfulness or anything about indies. I just want you to think about them as regular mega teams, and what do we need to do to have those conversations. We're in the process right now of redoing the development workbooks, because we always do that the first week of February. And the reason we wait to the first week of February is, obviously we have agents that go out in January because they didn't pay their dues or MLS or NAR or whatever. So we want to make sure that all rosters, not just your roster, but all rosters from all companies are clean. And that as clean as possible, and that we have the accurate agent count. So you're gonna be getting your updated development workbooks here sometime in the month of February. All right, let's talk about, speaking of the 5 sources of lead generation, or 8 sources of lead generation, or what you could follow up with. It's our podcast, okay? And so who can tell me about the podcast with Anna Kruger? And now I'm doing them from the week before. So Anna, this week it's Molly, and they talk about the disasters, and Colette Ching. But I want to talk about the one last week with Anna Kruger, and she talks about how to build a game-changing inside sales agent team. But there was something that was rather interesting about this podcast, if you listen to it the way that I listened to it, and I'm curious if any of you heard the same thing that I heard. So who can tell me a little bit about the podcast of Anna Kruger?
I'll touch base on that. So the interesting thing that I gathered from it, I was actually listening back over to it again today, was actually in the beginning. She indicated that I'm doing working with a lot of newer agents right now, and 80% of agents get out of the industry, as we know. It's kind of a lot of turnover, right? And one of the interesting things that she said that I was a aha for me, was she says that she has them write a letter right in the beginning to themselves, right? And that letter indicates what you would do if you quit, right? Like in essence, the motivation to not quit. And then she tells them at the end, which I thought was a real good tie down, who are the people that matter to you? Who's your closest people that would care if you did quit this or did leave this? And I think that utilizing that same technique for new agents that are kind of transitioning in this space would be a real win-win opportunity to kind of get their mindset shifted correctly, and then be able to also be able to use their own words as motivation to keep going. Every team meeting that I have, at the start of my team meeting, I always have a motivational, inspirational video, usually done by a celebrity. So it kind of ties into that same thing. For example, this week or tomorrow, we're doing a video where the guy talks about failure, and I have them understanding that FAIL is an acronym for first attempt in learning. So it's just kind of tying those same things together. But I thought that was a fantastic thought.
I love that. Now, Mike, to your point, you understand that that's getting the big why and learning about their family, right? Which is one of the things that we talk about in any conversation that you're having, is find out what their big why is and what is important. Why are they wanting to go into real estate? I love the fact that she said, if you were to write a letter to yourself, what would that say? And I love the fact that you picked up on that. So that was just another unique way of getting that. What else, guys, did you hear from that? I heard it that way too, but there was another way that I heard it, Mike. I want to see if anybody else picks up on it. What else did you guys hear out of the Anna Kruger conversation that you're either thinking about for your own role, or how you would use this in an appointment?
I'll chime in. I thought it was pretty cool that she wanted to always go 3 levels deep on the questions, where she didn't want to just, get the appointment within the first 30 seconds to a minute. I thought that was interesting, the idea that, a more quality phone call would yield to a higher conversion on appointments held. I believe her stat was 1 in 20 should convert to an appointment held. That was a solid number to go by. So we backed that into our own numbers here at the Market Centers as far as how many contacts we're making too.
So I love that, Sean. And what I was trying to get everybody to understand is that when I heard it, she was talking about ISAs. I heard it as your role. I heard that an ISA is the same thing as what you guys do every day. Okay. It's about, did you hear that, Sean? It's about the lead generation. It's about making the contacts. It's about having the conversations. She was basically talking about, you all are very similar to an ISA. Now, Jean may disagree with this. And Jean, I'm not sure how you're teaching this right now, but she was saying that in her mind, and I see you there, an ISA is really, unless you've got a really, really big team, she's saying that there's no difference between an ISA and an OSA, because at the end of the day, if you have a small team, they can basically be doing the same thing. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I think they're 2 different personalities. I think the cold calling is definitely a different I mean, could you do it? Sure. But if you were going to hire someone specifically to an OSA role, I just don't think they would have the same personality as an inbound lead. That's a warm lead, you know, maybe more of an ISC personality or IS. I mean, you know, cold calling expireds and forest level owners, people you've never met, it's more of a DI personality. So I don't agree with that, although I can see where she's coming from. You might inevitably do both in a role if you are the agent doing it and you haven't hired out to that role. But to hire someone to do that role for several hours a day, I feel like that an ISC personality would be very uncomfortable doing expired for sale by owner calls all day long.
Wait, Jean, what are you finding in your teachings and working with teams on that? And you need to go off mute. You're on mute. Jean, go off mute. There you go.
Yeah, after a lot of exposure over time to a lot of telemarketing agents, businesses, there's no question that what Brandy said is spot on. They're not the same person. And a lot of large teams that have telemarketers that are doing both inbound and outbound, when they go and look at their bonuses and they're paid on appointments held that they book the appointment and it closes, and that's how they make their money. Most of their money's coming from inbound calls, like 80 or 90% of it. And those are layups, and you don't need to pay the kind of money that they're paying for an inbound call. A regular admin on a team can take a call. Hey, I need to sell my home. I got your name from Bob at work. Yeah. Anybody can convert that to an appointment. You don't need to hire a specialist to answer that phone call. So it is about the outbound. That's where the game is. Okay. Outbound.
All right, very good. All right, so and I really thought that some of the things that she had to say was really equated to a lot of the things that you all are doing when you're having your appointments as well. So let's make sure that you're going back and, you know, pulling these out, because this could be beneficial to you, thinking about it from your role. You know, she talks about quality appointments. She talks about the percentages of people that are showing up. She's talking about a lot of things that equate to what a team leader does. But on another note, this may be something that if you have an agent that is in need of somebody for an ISA, this gives them a roadmap to be able to find that. So I just want to make sure that we're all reading these and utilizing these. And it also made me think about something about going back to the 10 qualifying questions. So I wanted to show you the reason that I want to talk about that here in a minute. But before I go there, I want to talk to you about family reunion. So we didn't have, I know everybody was busy and our call was last minute. So thank you to those of you that were able to show up to our call. And from that, we were actually able to come up with, I think, a pretty good flyer for you guys. So let me show you what that looks like. Hold on here for a second here. I think. You see my screen okay?
No, you're not sharing, Georgia.
Pardon me?
You're not sharing.
Well, it says I am. I'll go back again and do it. Maybe it just went out. Okay, hold on. Now is it doing it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. So you all know about the free family reunion registration, right? You all know. Is there anybody that's been living under a rock that doesn't know about this? Okay. All right. So we sent this to you today. So you would have all of the details on this. So we've created the flyers. We're going to show those to you on the call today. We had a call on Friday, so we got some help on what you want this to look like. For your free guest at Family Reunion, this is intended for external producing agents. Now, let's not use this for new agents, because I don't think you need that. It's not, there's no particular criteria that they said, but they wanted us to let you know this should be for producing, any level of producing, but not for somebody new that's just getting their real estate license, okay? So new registrations only. Previous purchase recruit tickets are not eligible for refund. They need to be a non-KW licensed agent. Now, I have a little bit of a challenge with this because sometimes, you know, they join us before they or before they attend, but this is the guidelines on this. We just went ahead and gave you the link. So this is the family reunion link, and this is the code that you use, okay? You have to choose non-KW guest on the registration form for the code to apply. If you put Keller Williams or anything else, it's not going to work. So make sure that you're saying non-KW guest, and this is your code, KW region guest. Now, we also want you to fill out a spreadsheet so we know who's coming. So we created a fun way to get you to fill out the spreadsheet. So we're going to have a regional contest, and Candace, I didn't forget about you because you already have 4 people going. So I try to anticipate all the questions I'm going to get. So we're having a regional contest for a $500 cash prize. The Market Center with 2 or more guests registered for family reunion will be in a drawing to win up to $500 gift card for Vegas Fun. So I'm actually going to let you guys draw as many times as you have guests. So everybody, as long as you have 2 guests or more, are going to be able to draw. And there's going to be a couple of $500 prizes in there. There could be some other things. So that's what we're going to do. So you're going to click here to submit your region guests that you registered for family reunion. And yes, if you have some that are already paid, they are eligible too. You've got to submit the link, and we've got to have a copy of the registration. We're giving you until Friday, February 16th until midnight to be able to register anybody for the drawing. And you need to have 2 guests registered. Now, when you're there and your guest is there, if you have somebody with production in the last 12 months of $6 million or more, okay, they're going to be invited to a premier networking event hosted by Wendy Harrelson, John Clyde, and Jason Abrams, with a special appearance by Mark Willis. That date is February 18th, and it's from 5 to 6 p.m. We do not know the location yet. For those of you that are asking, can you go? What they've told us is there's a possibility, but until they see what the attendance is going to be, they're not sure if they're going to have room in this room or not. Okay. So it's designed for high achieving real estate professionals to elevate their career. Keller Williams will send out a know before you go email with the location of the room to your guests prior to the event. So this is where you click to register your guests. 6 million or more last 12 months, not currently affiliated with Keller Williams. Its current business owners, spouses, equal equity partners may attend. KW Associates, regional Market Center leaders and hosts are not permitted to attend the event with their guests. They did say that it's a possibility, but we have to see if it gets filled up or not. Any questions on this? All right. If you do, let us know. We're happy to help you with that. So we created a flyer. If you don't like the flyer, that's fine. We will let you have this in Canva, and you can add or delete or change it or do anything you want. But this is what we came up with from the call that we had on Friday. So some of you said be part of the family. They wanted us to add that and join us at Family Reunion. We have a complimentary registration just waiting for you, a $1,300 value. That was specific request, free just for being our guest. Learn new ways to maximize your life and business, February 17th. To learn more, your free registration, contact me soon. This is today. This is designed to be able to go into an email with your contact information. If you want to send it out differently, because we don't know all the different ways you're going to do this, and you want us to customize it and put your information in there, happy to do it. We will give this to you in Canva. You can change it and put your own information in here. We're just giving you a template, so there's no excuse. I didn't have anything to send out. Okay? Why you can't miss is Keller Williams Family Reunion, blah, 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 blah. This event is for anyone ready to grow their business, build a team, or lead with excellence. Okay? Again, whatever you guys want, we're happy to help you. So this is going to be going out in a little bit. Ashley's going to be talking about some of the ways you send this out here in a minute. This is the welcome home invite. Now, this is what I would encourage you guys to do. This one says, welcome home. We want to welcome you back to the KW family. This one is designed specifically for people that have been with Keller Williams. So Liliana, the people that you met with that were with Keller Williams before, this would be something you might utilize for them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So we have it's the same thing, complimentary registration, blah, blah, blah. Please give me a call to learn more and receive your registration code. This one, we changed this up a little bit, rather than saying contact me. We just said, give me a call to learn more and receive your registration code. Basically the same thing. We just did this welcome home. Again, if you want to change it, it's fine. We will give you the Canva and you can add or delete or do anything you want to do. But I do not want to hear that anybody said, I didn't know what to call about. I don't know how to call. What is the information? I didn't have anything to send out. I don't know what to do. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What would you guys tell me on welcome home? What would you guys do with this? How would you get this? How would you get the information on anybody to send out the welcome home? Liliana, if you're talking to me, you're on mute. I heard you. I see your lips move, but there was no conversation.
I'm trying to copy paste this already.
Well, no. Don't do that because we'll send it to you. We're going to do it here just in a few minutes. So don't try to copy paste. It's coming out in right after the call. It's coming out. Okay. We just want to make sure that nobody wanted to have any changes. All right, guys, talk to me. I want these calls to be.
Georgia, the lost agent productivity report.
I'm sorry, say that one more time, Rebecca.
The lost agent productivity report.
Yeah,
So,
that would be one way.
yeah, going through that and sending these out to everybody that's left us.
Okay, perfect. So Rebecca said, going to your last 12 months lost agent productivity report, find all the agents that have left, particularly the producing ones, right, Rebecca? That's the ones you want to get. And send it out. Now, there's another way you do this on Broker Metrics is you can go to the agent movement report and you can pull all the agents that moved in. Ashley, remind me, maybe I need to do a video and send that out to everybody after this call, okay? You can go to the agent movement report and you can get, well, actually, we have it for you. I'll show you where it's at. It's already done. You don't even need to do it now that I'm thinking about it. You can just go to your agent movement report. It's going to show all the agents that left you in the last 12 months. However, you have people that left you 2 or 3, 4 years ago. So I would go to your MCA and probably find maybe a list of agents that had been with you previously and maybe use that. I would say the last 24 months at least I would be looking at. We can give you the last 12 months. I can't give you the last 24 months. But I'll show you where you can get that information. We'll get that sent out to you. Okay, so good job, Rebecca. What else, guys? How else are you going to use this? All right, let me give you some information.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, I was already talking to you about this the other day, but what I would do is I would go on ChatGPT first to come up with your conversation. I sent that to you as to what that looked like, pretty much inquiring from ChatGPT. In essence, the prompt was something along the lines of pretend that you're a real estate recruiter and you're trying to build a relationship with top agents in the area and invite them specifically to an event that could help them grow from an education, marketing, and branding perspective. What would that look like? Something along those lines. And then it gave me a prompt in that capacity, and then you attach this in there as well. What I did was I pulled from Broker Metrics, actually, the list of producers that were 3 million and up in my area. And then I'm going to send a mass email to them on their BCC. I'm going to send it to myself and then have them all on their BCC so that they don't know individually that I'm sending it to them. And then I think that that should prompt some interest and give some more conversation. That was another strategy.
Yeah, and I have your email. I'm going to put that in with the email that's going to go out with this, Mike. So thank you.
And just to let you know, the lost agent productivity report, you can go back in the folder and you can go back to, like, I think 2017.
Yeah, you are right on that. That's a great idea, Rebecca. Thank you. Yeah, you can go back into archives, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. So I'll show you guys how to do those things before we end the call today. I'll show you that. All right. So here's another idea that I would do with this. If I was a team leader, I would be going to my ALC. I would be going to my top agents. I would be saying, hey, who do you know that you would like to see back at Keller Williams? Give them this and give them the invite so they can invite anybody that might have left that they would love to see back. Or I would give them the other flyer for anybody, kind of like what you did, Liliana. They invited their friends to that event, right? So maybe this is a way that if you have this event again, just say, hey, you guys are going to be if you guys get a person to come to family reunion, you're going to be first in line to attend our mastermind next month. I mean, you could do something like that, right? So give this to your agents for anybody that is that they would love to have in their profit share tree. Okay, so this is another way. Take advantage of your sphere, your local market center sphere of influence. Don't go around them, go through them and say, guys, here's the opportunity to help you build your profit share and to take market share, which is going to help propel us into the #1 market share position in Stellar MLS or Northeast MLS or whatever MLS you guys are in. And who do you know that you can give this to so we can invite them to family reunion? Now, you need to talk to your OP about the financial aspect of the trip, you know, the housing, how you guys want to do that. Maybe you say, you know, we'll provide the ticket. You need to pay for your housing or your lodging and your transportation to get there. Maybe you guys want to consider paying half of it. Maybe you say you pay the half now, and if you make a decision to join us, we'll pay the other half. Maybe they pay the whole thing. And you say if you join, then we'll reimburse you your entire ticket out of your first closing, or not your ticket, your expenses. You know, when you get there, you can take them out to dinner and all those types of things, right? So, you know, you come up in your market center with a plan. I'm going to be checking in. We got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks. I want to see that every market center brings a guest. And I think that this is a huge opportunity for indies. Like that, this should be a no-brainer for an indie in your area for you to pick up the telephone. And Mike, I know you have no fear of this stuff. This is where you're going to pick up the phone and call those indies. I showed you how to do it the other day. Or you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call those top agents at that company and say, I want you, I'm extending this invitation to you, and get them to go, Mike. Okay. Guys, this is very, very exciting. This is what, I mean, this is huge. This is what you need. Any questions on any of this? All right, Ashley, do you want to tell them like how we're going to send this out and that how they would be sending this out in Constant Contact or MailChimp or
Yeah.
cut and paste it or whatever?
Yeah, so you're in the email that we send out, you are going to get a couple of options of how you want to utilize these flyers. You're going to get a JPEG basically where you can use it for social, well, you wouldn't use it for social media, but if you wanted to use it for inserting it into an email, you can basically take a snippet or a picture of it and embed it in the actual email if you choose to do that. There's going to be a PDF option if that works better for you. And then we're also going to have it's a link. If you have Canva in your market center, you have an account, we're going to give you a link that basically it's going to make a copy of these and you guys can edit it however you want. If you don't like a certain word we use, if you want to change a picture, if you want to add your contact information, whatever you need, that way you can make all the changes you need, but the foundation is done for you. I can't remember with Constant Contact if you need a PDF or a JPEG, but that's why we're including all those different formats. So whatever platform that you're using, you'll be able to embed that that flyer that fits best for you.
Right. And if something those don't work, pick up the phone and call us and let us try to help you with whatever it is that you need. Can they take something like this and snip it and put it in Facebook, Ashley? Or do we need to make a smaller Facebook post for them?
I mean, it would work. It would work. I just, if they're reaching out to certain people. I don't know if they want to do like a generic Facebook post.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Alright,
but they could, absolutely.
Guys, here's the thing. I wouldn't be picky. If it were me, I wouldn't be picky
Create
about
a
who.
mofer, you know,
getting-
have a mofer or a call to action, and then you can adjust this in Canva for your size for Instagram or Facebook easily.
Correct. Yep, exactly. As soon as you make that copy, and if any of you need help with Canva on how to reformat this or whatever, we can help you. But as soon as you make that copy, when you go to download it, you can choose, you know, whether you want it in a PDF, a JPEG, if you want it in a certain format for Facebook, like a postcard, like you have all those options. Once you make the copy, you can do anything you want to it.
Yeah, and in Canva, it'll ask you, you know, what you're posting it to, so you can easily download it in that format. So it all the text appears for you.
So,
It'll
no,
ask-
this is not getting promoted, sent out. And here's the thing, guys. Don't be afraid of sending this to your top producing agents or anybody doing, I don't know, 1 million or more, whoever, whatever you are thinking about. The idea is that you want them to see this, whether they go or not go. It's the fact that you're sending them an invitation and that you're telling them what's going on. Okay. So you always have control of if you want somebody to go, or if you say, well, we have criteria for that because it says, you know, to learn more, contact me today. You can always put criteria on it, but the idea is to get the information out there and to be able to get the person to respond to you. Like Brandy said, do whatever mofer that you want to do. Get people to respond. So that's a little bit about that. And so you already got the email on the guests. You're going to be getting the flyers here in just a short time. Probably right after the call. Now I lost my folder. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to go to, hold on for a second. Let me go back here and find my folder. I want to talk to you about our Slack. And I want to talk a little bit in the next few minutes about because it seems to be that we are heavily engaged in bringing in new agents. I don't have a problem with that. I do want to talk to you about, oops, that's the wrong one. I do want to talk to you about a system for this. I know some of you are on the G5 calls, and those are great. And when you get the appointment, I do want to talk to you because we are losing a lot of agents. Let me show this to you. Now, I think the difference between this market and the markets in the past is that this is definitely a skills-based market. In other words, people need to be lead generators or figure out a way that they're going to get leads if they're going to buy them. And then they have to show up and they have to list and sell real estate. I don't know any way that anybody puts $1 in their pocket if they're not available to list or show property. Haven't figured that out yet. So here's the thing. We've got to get people into productivity, and we need to have an expectation conversation. Kind of no different than Anna was talking about on this, is that she really talked about having that expectation conversation up front. Dallas, what can I help you with?
I was just gonna remind you probably that this market is a whole lot like the one in 2009.
Right.
Where we had, a lot of people had gotten in a rushed market, super hot market that just then dropped.
Right.
And we were hemorrhaging agents back then.
Right.
But a lot of them were agents that just didn't know how to shift or produce in a new market.
100%. I agree with you. And yet market centers were very profitable and succeeding with the right people. Wouldn't you agree, Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
So-
some tight months there.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So, and knowing all of these things, and Dallas is 100% right. But there wasn't a month that there weren't listings sold or buyers available. And if you go in, I'm looking at a lot of the numbers, and I might see that there's, I don't know, 200 units sold, 500 units sold, 327 units sold. And the market center's done 30, and they got 300 agents. It's like, that just tells me there's a lot of business that we're losing. So there's a lot of business that's happening. We just maybe don't have all of our people engaged in doing what we're doing. And I believe it starts with the recruiting appointment. So I want to go over this a little bit for a new person, okay? But I want to show you where we're ending up. Our goal was 353, not my goal, your all goals. And I let you do whatever you wanted to do on your goals. We're only at 197, okay? And our net goal was 123 and we're at negative 158. So I understand that it's a different market and I understand that people are wanting to get out of the business. I get that. However, when we're not having enough appointments or we're not bringing in enough people and the right people, it's hard to be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish because it's very rare over here that I see that we're probably past 30 appointments. Okay. And it's very like, you know, 4 people, 1 person, 4 people, 1, 1, 3, 4. Great job on 5 and 6, 2, 5, 6, 5, 9, 10, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 1, 3. Good jobs on the 10s and the 1s, and we don't have everybody's numbers in, so we're going to be showing that to you afterwards. So first of all, I just want to show that to you. Second thing is I want to go over the 10 qualifying questions because my experience has been that we sell Keller Williams to an agent instead of having a qualifying conversation with them to see if they are somebody that you want to join your company. Again, I'm going to tell you guys this. It's not about bringing in 10 or 12 people that are coming in off the street that just pass their real estate test. They should be qualified to have the opportunity to work for your organization. Okay. And that means you have to have more appointments or find more appointments. One of the things that Anna Kruger talked about is, you know, recruiting is actually, she said that she was a high school, or not high school, a college recruiter. And she said some of the college recruiters are some of the best people for ISAs. They could be great lead generators, okay, for team leaders as well. So, or for agents, for agents coming in as well. But I mean, as a team leader, you could learn what Anna is doing for you to be able to pick up the phone and call some of these college recruiters who are looking for an opportunity to come in and be an agent or work on a team. That's the idea that I got from that. So let me just remind you what the process should look like. It worked for me. And I had a very highly profitable market center. We had challenging times too, okay? But we didn't have the KPA back then. We had career visioning and some other things, okay? But you start with sending the KPA. Now, you guys are paying $500 a month to have the KPA. So this is nothing that is going to cost you extra money. In fact, if you're not using it, it's costing you money. So send the KPA before the appointment, the 10-minute version, the personality profile. Don't send the job fit. You can send that later when they're looking for people to join their team. But this is just for new people. This can be this could be for anybody, honestly, anybody that you want to come. But if I'm talking specifically now about new people, new to real estate. My recommendation is do not meet with them if they're not going to do the KPA. That's telling you something already, but that's your choice. The KPA will confirm their behavior and personality before you meet with them to mirror and match to make the appointment more valuable. The time frame on how soon or how slow they respond to the assessment will give you some insight, and you will do the KPA verification at the end of the 10 questions. So don't get all in a tizzy that you're sending out all of these and you're going to have to do the verification. Yes, but it's going to depend on whether they make a decision to be with you or not. Step 2, begin the 10 questions. You don't begin with the KPA, you begin with the 10 questions once the appointment has been set. Start the appointment with the 10 questions. It should only take a few minutes to see if they're the right fit for the business or your market center. After the 10 questions, follow the steps below to see if they're a fit or not a fit. If they are a fit, you move on to the KPA, and this will be able to help you understand their behavior so you can share with them how they are a fit for the role or challenges. Now, you've read this before, so you already know when you're meeting with them where they're going to have challenges because you've scanned it. But then if they are the right person, then this is going to be even better for you when you're having the meeting with them. So you can say where they're going to have challenges or where they're going to be great or whatever you might need. Show them the Y4C2Ts and the mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives. See how they react. This can be a selling point on its own, but talk to them about our culture, our Y4C2Ts, our mission to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, legacies worth leaving. Explain that to them because they're not hearing that from other people. Then show them your training calendar. And now this is after if they're the right fit for your market center. Show them your training calendar and set expectations of being in your market center. During the 10 questions, they should have been committed to your market center expectations. If you have a PC that they must follow, go over that and then ask what other questions they have. Okay. So first you do the 10 questions. If they're the right fit, you go into this stuff. If they're not the right fit, you determine from asking the 10 questions. If they're not the right fit, you need to do the KPA maybe for 5 or 10 minutes just to go over it with them. Tell them you do not feel they're a right fit for your market center based on their commitment of what you discovered during the 10 questions. Remember, you don't want to irritate them because they could be, if they never do anything with their real estate license, they could be a future client, they could refer you business. So you want to be very kind about this, but you need to make a decision if these people are going to be a right fit for you or not. Then this is what you say. Thank you for meeting with me today. We're very interested in partnering with a few select agents who are focused on building a real estate business. We're the #1 real estate training company in the world. Because of our proven models and systems for success, it's important we affiliate with agents who are focused on achieving their goals. Before we get started today, I have a few, I say, qualifying questions to get to know you a little bit better to see if you're going to be a right fit. Okay, and then this explains it here. Then you have a separate notebook for what I'm about to, for the 10 questions. Okay, now it says you can use the space below, but I have actually condensed these, so I've taken away the space. This is what you start with. Tell me something that you accomplished or that you are the most proudest of since you graduated from high school or college. What happened? What did you do? What lessons did you learn? And how did your life or career change? This is a mindset question. I don't care if they ever graduated from college. I didn't. It's not important to me. I never went. Okay. What is important is their mindset, their motivation, and what they've done in the past. Okay. I don't care if they had a family when they were in high school and they got their GED and they had to stay at home and raise 3 or 4 kids, and now they're all off to college and they want to go and build their real estate career. That's great. I just want to know what they're the most proudest of, and does anything that they're saying to you make sense? Depending on how they answer, these are additional questions that you may or may not choose to use. So this is your motivational section right here. Now, this is where it gets really, really important. Is real estate going to be a business, or is this a casual opportunity? Do you know this is a sales position? Is it, you could ask this, is it full-time or part-time? Here's the thing I want you guys to understand. Not necessarily looking at 40 hours a work week. You're just trying to find out how much they're dedicating to real estate. Are they really part-time, or are they just a sometime when convenient? We don't need sometime when convenient anymore. That walking down the beach and somebody's raising their hand and saying, hey, if you got a real estate license, I'm ready to write a contract. Doesn't happen anymore. Okay. You got to be a skills-based business. What is your income goal? Are you committed to this goal? Is this required to meet your living expenses, or is this a wish that you would like to achieve? Go deep in this. Find out. To be successful and hit your goals, we know that you will need to come to training and lead generate every day. It doesn't say once in a while. It doesn't say, twice a month. It says every day. Are you committed to our training standards? Be sure to explain what your training standards are. If meeting in person, show them your calendar. Ask them if they have a database of 201 contacts that we can upload into our command. If not, are you willing to get that number ASAP? Are you committed to our coaching or accountability program? Explain each model for the market center. Are there any personal or family matters other than job or timing issues standing in your way or stopping you from attending our training or lead generating? You're asking to get clarity. Do you have X amount of dollars, 500, 1,200, 1,500, whatever your number is, to pay your office, MLS, and board dues to become an agent? Break down each category they need to pay for. You may also let them know this is an investment and a return on investment is exponential. Remember, keyword, today is today. If they do not have the money to join your market center, if they cannot pay the dues or deposit that they need, that they're joining, put a plan in place to have them come back when they have the money. In other words, if they don't have the money right now, don't take them. Don't take them. I do not want you to put people on your roster that do not have the money. I do want you to hit your numbers. You need to have more appointments, but don't just take anybody. Okay? We expect you to have your first transaction under contract in 45 to 60 days. Now that means, guys, you need to have the training and all the tools for them to be able to do this. Do you have 90 to 120 days of reserves in your bank account to support you and your family until your first closing? Explain to them it can take 90 to 120 days to see their first closing check. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to be successful in your business? Do you understand that if you do not engage with our training, return our phone calls, and follow the plan, we may send your license back to the state? Yes, that is true. Now, I also have here how to succeed as a part-time realtor. You know, there's people like Bowman Keaty, several people in our company that are big producers today that started off part-time, 100%. But this is what they did. Be a part-time agent, not sometime. A part-time agent needs to follow a schedule. It's not about 40 hours a week. It's about following a schedule and be committed to the profession. Have a plan and a date. If you're working at a job and want to do real estate part-time, to move to full-time, set a date to go full-time and create a plan with your team leader. Prospect and follow up every day. If you want to remain part-time, then you need to have a schedule to prospect and follow up every day. This is not about doing a deal when it just appears. You are not trained to handle the biggest financial decision for your friend or that client. Practice and train every day. Have a schedule that allows you to come to training, a practice in our group, and daily, weekly. You cannot learn by experience. Poorly trained agents provide poorly trained experience. Provide poor experience. Get a full-time agent to help. If you're not available to handle the business, you need someone who is available to handle your business when you're not available during your work time. If you are not available during your work time, it does not provide for a good experience. You know, we have some market centers, I don't remember who it was, but they have the buddy system. So if they want to be a part-time agent, they buddy them up with another agent. And so they have, you know, a buddy, and that could work out beautifully for some of you. So that you have everything that I can see that you could possibly need in order to be successful. Just a reminder, I'm going to be sending you out some emails on Biz Like Biz and Train the Presenter. What magical thing does anybody need right now to be able to get 30 or more appointments next month? Yes, it's family reunion month, so you're going to have to double up on some of your days, just like any agent would need to do the same thing. What are you lacking? What do you need in order to be successful that you do not feel you have access to? And if you're uncomfortable asking me on this call, on this Zoom, then I want you to email me, because I am going to be checking in this month with all of you that did not hit your numbers and find out what you need. Okay, because we want to make sure that everybody is succeeding at the highest level. And I'm going to be coming out and doing the team leader certifications for all team leaders that joined us in this last year to make sure that you have everything in alignment that you need to be successful. Okay, and Liliana is going to be on a call at 3:30. I'm going to be joining that call as well. It's going to be our role play call, right, Liliana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you guys did not hit your number and you need help, let's get on that call so Liliana and I can help you with that. Okay, what else does anybody need? Because if you don't need anything, I assume that you have everything that you need and that we're going to hit our 30 appointments and everybody's going to hit their goal next month, right, Liliana?
Absolutely.
Can you send us all that those 10 questions and kind of their part-time conversation you were just showing us? Can you send that?
100%. We're gonna send it out with our call information. It's going to go out by the end of the day. And your other information is going out on those flyers. Did you already get the flyers, Mike?
I don't think that I did. I can go back and check again.
Okay, so I'd asked Ashley to send those to you since you helped, but she might not have gotten to it. But anyway, you're going to be getting those within the next hour. Okay. Guys, I'm giving you everything that you need. I will personally come out and assist you if you need help. But if you don't call me, text me, ask me questions, attend these meetings, listen to the MREA podcast, listen to the consulting conversations, listen to the database assessment. If you're not on the growth call, I'm not sure how else I can help you. So let's make sure that we're.
I have one more question. Sorry. Is there a way? So you talked about the short form KPA, right? Is there a link to that in order to be able to send it out, or how do you recommend getting that? Because I'm under the impression that my brokerage, it's kind of a chain of command, and my office manager handles it, and my MCTT. Is there an actual link for that short form KPA?
Let's solve this right now, because I am so glad you said that, Mike. I love Mike. I love him. You know, Mike, how long have you been a team leader? You ask more questions than anybody else on this call, and I love it.
Probably about 6 months.
6 months, and look at all the stuff he's doing. Okay. Team leaders, MCAs, OPs, if you have a problem with this, you let me know and I will get this taken care of. There is no reason in my brain that a team leader does not have the ability to send out a KPA. Somebody tell me why. It's not going to cost you more money. Tell me why a team leader doesn't have access to send a KPA.
Because they don't know how to do it.
Well, if they can figure out how, but
I know how to do
Part
it.
of their 20%.
well, but Kieran, if
Everyone should have access, though. I mean, we all have access.
and they want to do it, they should be able to do it, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying that's an admin task that.
I send them out for my agents.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
I mean, I think it all is the timing of when it needs to go out. And yes, I don't think it's something the OP wants to do all the time, but you should have access to it, and the team leader should. I mean, we all have access to it. There's no chain of command in our situation.
So guys, here's the deal. There should not be, in my opinion, your market centers can do whatever they choose to do, but we've got to make these things easy for people to get done. It doesn't cost any more money. So I'm just saying right now, team leaders, if you want to have access, a team leader, OP, MCA, want to have access to sending out a KPA, or anybody that is in a recruiting position. I'm not saying you give it to an agent, but certainly to somebody in your executive leadership staff should have access to that. Okay. So just get that link from your MCA and talk to your leadership about it, and you should be able to accomplish that. But I love this because we've got these little things that stand in our way that it's like, I don't even know these things happen. Okay, so let's just make sure that we're getting that done. So Mike, just go to Rich or go to your MCA and just tell them you want to have access to that. You should be able to get that, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Again, doesn't cost anything. All right. Anything else? All right, let's go make it happen. Grow, 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 grow. Appointments, appointments, appointments. Let me know what you need. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Georgia.
Thank you, Georgia.
Thanks, Georgia.
Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Georgia.
You're welcome.